All right, now about to dive into our interview session, and today we're talking about human resource and workplace efficiency. And to help us do this, we have in the studio here John Mote, John C. Mote. He owns a BSc in psychology from the Obafemi Awolowo University, and also has a master's in managerial psychology from University of Lagos. He is a licensed HR professional and an associate member of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria. Welcome to the show, and thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us
this
morning.
It's a pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. First question, first of all, is what exactly is workplace efficiency? Can you tell us what that is?
Okay. Workplace efficiency is really about the organization optimizing or achieving its strategic goals, and it's the barest minimum costs. You understand? As in the risk factor is reduced to the barest minimum. You achieve your overall objective as an organization, overall strategy as an organization. It's the barest minimum cost.
Okay,
so making full use of your resources and not actually wasting any.
So if you achieve that full potential or that maximum, effect without the lowest cost, that is not workplace efficiency.
Yes, because when we talk about efficiency, we look at cost reduction. We're talking about cost here. We don't only mean financial cost.
Okay.
Talk about cost in terms of time, in terms of waste of human resources, in terms of waste of material resources.
Okay.
You can achieve a result and still waste a whole lot of resources. But then efficiency will just minimize costs and still achieve resources. So, for instance, if you need 2 personnel actually to perform a duty or a function and be productive, and you use 5 personnel to do that, you are not efficient.
Okay.
Your ability to use 2 personnel to perform that function, is what makes you efficient. Yeah.
What is different between both of them, workplace efficiency and workplace effectiveness?
Okay. Effectiveness, you achieve a result. Efficiency, you achieve the result at with the barest minimum cost. You are using little resources you have to achieve the results. That's efficiency. Effectiveness, you achieve the result. So no matter how you achieve the result, you can use all your resources to achieve the result, but at least you've achieved the result. That's, you are just effective. But efficiency, you are reducing every risk factor, reducing every cost factor.
Okay.
So I think that's actually the difference majorly is in the use of resources.
Okay. How do you determine, the efficiency of an organization? Is it profit-based? What is it?
Okay. The efficiency of an organization can be determined. Okay, let me explain this way.
Okay.
If, as an organization, you have your objective, your strategic business objective for the year.
Yeah.
It could be customer satisfaction. It could be product efficiency. But whatever be the strategy of the year, now your ability to meet that strategy of the year with the resources you have has made you, or is going to make the organization an efficient organization.
Okay.
So if the focus of the organization is towards the customer, maybe we want to increase the customer base this year, you would have measured the efficiency of the organization if actually the customer base has been increased using the resources, both financial, human, material resources they have for that financial year or for that year. So that's how you measure it. We are not only going to look at it from, of course, profit is also part of it. Profit is also part of it. But in totality, every organization has a goal. Okay, what is our strategic goal for this year?
Okay.
What is our strategic goal for next year? What is our strategic goal for this period? So you are going to measure it based on the strategic goals of the organization.
In human resource management now, if you have people who have been employed by a certain organization, but who are not, they're not living up to the billing of their employment. They're not building, their capacity is low. Their output is low compared to capacity for which they were employed or the position for which they have been employed to handle some things. Now, but some companies would like to retain them for the sake of, we have spent a lot training this person. We don't want to just let him go. So let's find a replacement while we train the replacement. Now, what counts as loss for a company in terms of managing efficiency versus managing effectiveness when it comes to thinking about how, okay, I have to let this person go, but at the same time, I don't want to let this person go because I've invested so much in this person?
Okay, the truth is, for you to, for an organization to get to that level of efficiency, there must be some structures put in place. Okay. Performance management is not limited to training alone. Okay. One thing is for you to train somebody. Another thing is for you to bring out what the person has inside.
Potential.
The potentials the person has inside for productive uses or to productive means. So now, I think beyond training is the work of the line manager or the supervisor to ensure that there is a constant performance improvement plan. You strategically develop this plan. Okay, you are trained for this purpose and you are supposed to deliver what you are trained for. So there should be a day-to-day guideline on how to go about it. Remember, the organization has spent a whole lot of money training you. And you have to actually deliver. But we cannot erase the fact that you can have some misfits in the organization. That's when people that we refer to as misfits are people that are not trainable, irrespective of all the trainings that have been given to them and irrespective of all the exposures and counseling and performance management plan given to them, they refuse to be productive.
Okay.
Now, what the organization can do? Well, really, you just need to look out for other people within the department that can perform the same function. You might not necessarily spend money training them again.
Okay.
There's something they call train the trainer. So since you have gone for the training, and it's also depending on if the person has good knowledge transfer. If person can actually transfer knowledge.
You're not transferring the wrong thing and wrong values in the process.
So, but another thing is sometimes also, even after going for training, the training might not be suitable for the productivity of that person in the organization. That's why it's very, very important that before someone is sent on training, you have to look at the capacity of the person to know, okay, how relevant is this training to this person? Can this person actually deliver? So those are the things. You don't just send people for training because, oh, it's time to send people for training. No, we have to just, no. Look at the capacities of individuals. Because if you are training someone and the person does not have that capacity to deliver, at least that initial potential, you must have spotted out that potential. So I think, but for the organization, well, it's important that the organization look out for trainings that are relevant in order not to run at a loss. That's just the best advice we can give.
Is there a unifying component to say, okay, this is how we can base each company on, or each company should have its own, factors to consider before creating a KPI, like a key performing index thing for anybody?
Okay, as an organization, let me start from here. Let me continue from where I started from.
Okay.
You have your strategic business plans.
Yes.
Right? Now, when you have your strategic business plans or your strategic business goals, your key performance indicators will be drafted from the goal. How do you intend to achieve this goal? What department or what is the departmental requirement towards the achievement of this goal? What is the personnel requirement towards the achievement of this goal? Okay. So by the time I'm able to look at it, okay, maybe like you mentioned, you have the customer service department, you have the sales department, you have a goal, maybe to expand your product or to be more customer focused and everything. So you look at each department. What is the contribution of each department to this goal? That's going to help you to draft out your KPI as an organization first.
Okay.
Then it will now translate to different departments also. What is the KPI or what are the KPIs of the different departments? The personnel in that department, what are their KPIs towards the contribution of the department and also to the organization as a whole? Now, by the time you set these KPIs, that's key performance indicators, okay, this is what you are supposed to achieve. this is what you're supposed to do as an individual in the department towards the achievement of this strategy goal.
That's the key performance index of the individual.
Of the individual. Now, it translates also to the department.
Okay.
Now, please, let me just state that these key performance indicators are not just written down and distributed to people. This is what you're supposed to do. No, it's supposed to be an agreement.
Okay.
Because we're talking about performance management now, efficiency. There's supposed to be an agreement. Oh, as the head of the department, as the supervisor, you're supposed to call your people, okay, this is what our department is required to do. We are supposed to contribute so and so to the organization's goals and objectives for the year. So the question there is, okay, look at, for each department also, you have different desks and people performing different functions.
Yes.
So how is your desk going to contribute to the objective of the department first,
and
which will also translate to that of the company. So it should be a mutual thing.
Understanding.
You should have an agreement with the supervisor, because by the time you set it together, goals that are set together are easy to achieve than goals that are just given to you and go and achieve them. So by the time you're able to set this, it's going to give the supervisor a guideline on how to monitor each personnel. So you are keeping track of performance. You are keeping track of records. And it's okay, you are getting it right. Oh, you've missed it this way. No, we have to come back. And then if trainings are required, you know when to give the training. Then after coordinating the department, you look at, okay, now the department has been able to achieve this. How does it translate to the organization? Because at the end of the year, maybe annually, quarterly or biannually or annually, the organization should be able to look at, okay, this is where we said we wanted to go to.
This is where we are.
This is where we are. At the end of the year, are we going to achieve this? If yes, okay, we continue to do that. If no, where did we get it wrong? Performance of the organization is being measured through KPIs, truly. But these KPIs are distributed to different departments and different individuals in the department. The organization also will check its efficiency or its productivity using these indicators. Okay, our customer base, has it increased? Okay, what's happened?
Based on the goal for the year.
So I think it's a general thing that will translate around all the departments. Even, funny enough, even the security department, because they are the first point of contact.
Okay, now as a HR personnel, what exactly is the role of HR in the whole workplace efficiency picture? What is the role of HR?
Okay, good enough. Human resources is not all about hire, fire, payroll administration, apply for leave, I approve, and we are now business partners. We are business partners. The first thing to do...
Sorry, business partners with the owners of the organization?
With the owners of the organization.
Okay,
with the owners of the with the stakeholders of the organization. The reason is because you cannot actually manage performance. You cannot actually help the organization get to achieve its goals and objectives if you don't even understand the business.
Okay.
So the role of human resource in contribution to organizational efficiency starts from, one, understanding the business strategy.
Okay.
One. Number two, you align the human resource processes or strategies to that of the organizational strategies.
Okay.
That's what is going to actually help you. And very, very important, you have to communicate these strategies to employees.
How can an employer or the HR help the employees be at their full potential and actually achieve more workplace efficiency with the employees?
Number one, like I said, the HR understands the business strategy, gets a good HR process, communicates the process. You involve the line managers, involve supervisors. You set their KPIs, you communicate to them.
Okay.
Now, there should be a monitoring means, and it starts with the supervisors.
Okay.
The supervisor should always ensure there's something they call performance monitoring. You check how far is this person going, and you have to also identify their weaknesses and their strengths so that you know areas where they need to actually learn, and you know areas where you need to actually put them to perform. So the fact is, when you are able to understand the strength as a supervisor first, you're able to understand the strength of your supervisee and the weakness of your supervisee, you understand that you are also able to manage the person better. Then, even during performance appraisal, or no, before appraisal, there are times also you have performance dialogue, where you come together to talk about the challenges you are facing on the job and what you think you need to perform efficiently on the job. You see, it's not just good enough for HR to sit there and just look at, okay, we want to train people for customer service, and just look at names of people. This one went last year, this one did not go last year, this one you claim, just pick this person. No? Understand? Trainings are supposed to reinforce, to fortify people.
Like target specific.
Yes, target, it should be, yes, should target specific people. So the role of the employer and the role of HR first is to ensure that there's a good performance management structure. That's one. Number two, you look at work environment. You know, if you are working in a toxic environment, it will actually be difficult for you to perform. Look at work environment. There should be a conducive work environment. And look at also even reward and compensation management processes. Have a good reward system. If you are looking for the best, you pay the best. And you know, reward and compensation management is not all about money. You know, sometimes recognition, appreciation,
letters of commendation,
recommendation. You know, has a whole lot of things to do in the life of, as in the performance of employees. Ensure that there is a constant performance improvement plan.